Yo, welcome back to another episode of Good Intentions.
Yeah, again with the echoey introduction.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we even talking about? How the fuck did I turn it? Okay, yeah, it's normal now. So, yeah, what are we talking? What are we talking about? Thinking it.
Well, I thought you had a list of things that we were going to talk about because I lost my phone, so I don't really.
Oh shit! I thought you kept the
topics.
List. Whatever, I'll just go off my head. So what would you do if you had 1.6 billion pounds?
What would I do? I think what I said to you was something along the lines of the first thing I'll do is kind of set myself up. So get everything, get a nice house, just basically set up a nice lifestyle. And then I'd work on getting my business fully launched, market the business fully. And then I'll start helping my immediate family and friends with whatever projects they need help with.
Yeah.
So, if you needed help with one of your films, I'd help you out with one of your films. If somebody else needed help with another project, a business or whatever, I would help them out with that. And then I would try and give back. So I would try and obviously I'd invest the money into something where I'm getting consistently money back, and then I'd use that money to be able to give back to the community, give back to other people, help people in need. Just anything I could possibly do, basically.
Yeah.
There's so much money, you don't know what to do with it. Like if you buy a house,
a bit close to the mic, by the way. Just take a little bit further back.
Oh, okay, good. I think I could probably set this up. So.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know how many video froze, but yeah, I think it's like almost too close. Try that.
Okay. Yeah, there.
There's a bit better, yeah.
Yeah, so when you've got that amount of money, if you're thinking about it logically, if you're buying a really nice house, it's like 10, 20 mil max.
Yeah.
And then you don't need a lot. Unless you're buying even if you're buying like 10 Lamborghinis, that's still only 2.5 mil.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with all that? Let's say you spend 60 million, right, on sorting yourself out. What are you going to do with what are you going to do with 1.54 billion?
Well, that's left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I told you this, but I was thinking what I would do is I would continue my life as normal while slowly upgrading or changing things. Because I think if you just outright stop what you're doing, then the routine and the habits and everything you'll lose. And then you'll end up doing something silly with the money, like going on holiday, going to fancy hotels, eating out, crazy places, buying shit you don't need. Whereas if you kind of slowly go into it, then you can sort of adjust to it in a more healthy manner. Does that make sense?
Yes and no, because if your routine is you're going to a job where you're getting paid like 15 an hour or whatever it might be, right? You're wasting your time. Because you have unlimited resources to do other things.
Maybe you're adding value to your workplace,
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I'm just a high value man, and I want to make sure that. What you're saying
to me is you would continue doing your job rather than working 100% on your film.
No, I'd be like getting all the say film stuff ready, but in the job I'd be like, I guess, wrapping things up slowly. I wouldn't just be like, yo, I'm out, got 1.6 billion, I don't need this job,
Yeah, next day I would leave.
All right, well, that's different. You've been in your job for a while, so that's maybe like you don't give a fuck. But like me, I just started this thing, so I wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm out, after like a few weeks.
But the question is, what use does that job have for you that you feel like you would need to keep it if you have 1.6 billion in your bank account?
I think it's just about you, like having some kind of integrity, you know, like you've promised or you said, I'm going to do this. So you just stick with it, you know, and then slowly.
Yeah. No, of course, I'll stick with it until I can hand it over to somebody else.
Yeah.
Right. But to stay in it, to
Nah,
keep
I
your
wouldn't stay on it like
habits,
in a more than, you know, 6 months or something like that. But I'd at least give it my all before fucking off, if that makes sense. If it was a shitty job, if it was a job I don't like, then that's different, you know, then I'd probably
Cool.
just quit tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if that works for you, I mean, I don't know, if I had 1.6 billion right now, tomorrow I know I'm going to get 1.6 billion. First thing I'm doing is I'm calling my work and I'm saying that I got 1.6 billion in the bank. I'm going to come in, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to hand over everything.
If
But
you
I
tell them
won't
that,
be.
by the way, they're gonna ask for some money. They're gonna say, "Can you just lend me like 1 million? Can you just lend me like?"
Yeah, but why would I?
So yeah, well, you just said you might call them up and be like, "Yo, I've got 1.6 billion. I'm gonna quit."
I know, but why would I lend? So this is the thing. Why would I lend somebody
You have to
money?
lend them shit, but I'm saying because you got such a huge amount, they'd be like, "Yo, can I have
Yeah,
like
maybe.
100 pounds? Can I borrow 50 pounds for,
Yeah.
you know, for a fancy meal?" I don't know, fucking know.
50
Um.
pounds.
Anyway, Myron, yeah. No, let's not talk. Let's not talk about Myron again. But yeah.
But yeah, to me, it's baffling that if you got 1.6 billion, you're still going to go to your job. And how long do you plan to do that? I'm just out of
So
curiosity.
first, like, I think when I had this conversation with my dad, I was like, oh, okay, I'll stick for like a semester or a year or whatever, right? Because it's at like a uni. So I would go the full course basically. And then I was like, 1.6 billion. Oh, fuck, that's a lot of money. So then I was like, okay, maybe till Christmas, which is right around the corner. So that's
Makes
what I mean.
sense.
I don't mean stay in it for, you know, me personally, I kind of, the way I operate now is I do, what do you call it? It's not really logical what I do. I go on like what I feel. So it's like, if I feel I can get more out of something, I'll stay in it, you know, even if it seems like it's not helping or whatever. If I feel there's something I can learn from it or develop as a person, you know, I'll stick for it. But if it's deadening and it's killing inside and it's like, this is not for me, then yeah, I'd probably just leave it, you know.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do you have any earphones at all?
What?
Do you have any earphones?
I don't have ones that have a jack plug-in. Why?
I was just going to say, because if you've got earphones, like my one, it connects to the mic and I can hear myself. So I know if I'm like, this is too close. If I'm like that, it's, you know, it's all right.
I'm not even close to the mic. It's just the mic might be picking up because there's a podcasting mic. It might be picking up on the.
No, it's good where you are there.
Yeah.
That position. But obviously that's why when people do those radio things, they always got the headphones or else they're like shouting or they're far away or, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever, man. Technical stuff. Who cares? We've got good intentions anyway. That's what matters. Anyway, what happened to you, man? I heard you got robbed.
Yeah, I was walking down the road and then it was about 7:30 p.m. So it was dark and I just brought out my phone to check when the train is coming because I was going to go and pick up.
So you're at a station. You brought out your phone.
Or near a station. I'm walking towards the station. I'm about 5 to 10 minutes away from the house.
Yeah.
And some guy on a bike goes past me and grabs it out of my hand.
Yeah.
And then rides off. And then I'm running after him, chasing him, and then ends up he's in the States near my place.
Wow.
And I saw him there.
Did you invite him in for tea? Did you say, hey man, do you want to come in for tea? Your neighbor,
yeah. But yeah, I ended up seeing him. I saw where he went. I reported it to the police. The police obviously been in touch with me, but you know, it is what it is.
Did the police even give a shit about that stuff, or do they like?
They said like, oh, was he wearing a mask? Was he wearing like a hoodie? And so even if they catch him on CCTV, they're checking the CCTV around the area because there's a pub nearby. Even if they catch him on the CCTV, without seeing his face, they don't really have any proof because they would need to circulate the image of him around. But what the police officer said to me was somebody dressed in the same clothing as him, is going around South Bank, and they've been just wreaking havoc basically, and just stealing loads and loads of phones.
So
So
they know
every
who this
evening
guy
they're
is.
stealing multiple phones. It's not just like one phone. They're probably stealing multiple phones.
Yeah, so they know who this
It's
guy
Christmas.
is.
People are going to buy phones, so he's got a
Yeah.
market. And what I found really interesting though was this. So how every phone has an IMEI number.
Yeah, IMEI. Yeah, I remember that.
You would think that they would use the IMEI number for you to be able to block the phone.
That's what it's for. Yeah.
But they can't.
Why not?
So I bought the phone directly from Apple, and they can't use the IMEI number to block anything. All they can do is go and find my iPhone and then wipe the phone. But the phone can still be used by any carrier. So if I go, what I would have to do is I would have to then go to EE or
it's normally the network that can block it. So if it was T-Mobile, when they give that phone out, they register the IMEI with T-Mobile. So T-Mobile can say dead in this handset.
But it's only blocked on that network.
Is it? So they can just get another
so even if I report it to EE, EE will be the only one that is blocked on. So they can just use an O2 on it.
Normally though, when like back in the day when EE used to provide, they'd have it as an EE only phone. So if you put any other network in, it don't work. That way they can block it and it's a dead phone.
I'm buying it directly from Apple.
By the way, you used to have a dead phone. I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
I got somehow I got a phone sent to my house, and it was sitting in the corner of my house for years. And then I opened it up one day and I was like, what the fuck is an iPhone 5? And I just gave it to you. I was like, yeah, do you want an iPhone 5? But that was locked to a specific whatever it was. And
exactly.
you couldn't do anything to no matter what SIM card you put in it. Once they basically probably said it's missing. And I was like, yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, so my one, I tried to report it, I tried to tell them, but apparently they can still use it. So as long as they wipe it, because it's completely unblocked directly from Apple, it kind of makes it useless. So you got this serial number on a phone that is pointless. To me, it's baffling.
I think it's for the networks when they want to block it, but that's normally when the networks have it locked to their network. So I guess if you bought it directly from Apple and there's no network involved, then it's just an identification.
But you can still break the network locks anyway on the phone. There's ways. I know guys that can do it. So it's like, it's a weird one. But anyway, reported to the police, and just bought a new phone. That's it. I'm just waiting for it.
Which one did you get?
Just got a 14 Pro Max.
Oh, I've got a case for you if you want it.
Let me have a look.
I don't even know where the fuck I put that. It wasn't here. Oh, here it is. So I ordered this from this website called justearphones.com. I got this.
Nice.
I haven't sold it yet.
How much are you selling them for?
I mean, I got it free, but
cool.
If I can sell it on eBay, I'll give it to you. It's up to you, man. Our drop shipping career didn't last too long.
Yeah, I keep seeing ads on Instagram and these like YouTube, etc. on e-com, and the same shit. Start your online business, become rich.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, what are we doing with the podcast? We're not trying to get rich off it. Isn't that the plan?
I don't really care.
No, I don't give a shit either. But yeah, so what are you saying about Kanye West? Do you think he's dropping some truth bombs, or do you think it's just his bipolar?
I think it's a bit of both. I think there are like elements of truth in what he's saying. One thing that I don't get is,
I think it's the way he communicates it. It's like there's a truth bit, but the words he uses always are slightly off.
Yeah, like look, the fact that he's saying Jewish media rather than saying who the specific individuals are, to me is kind of a cop out. Because anybody, these theories about the Jews have gone on for hundreds of years.
Yeah, this is
So to
nothing
use
new.
that same argument, it's a bit lazy. But
I
if he
think
went specifically and said, hey, it's this CEO in this company that's trying to basically stop my career or stop my success, right? And he happens to be a Jew, but there's also another Jew over here who is also CEO,
I
and
think
he
it's
happens to
like
have this.
Jordan Peterson said, it's a bit of a like, it can be like a jealousy thing because you've got a minority that are more successful than you, so there's a bit of resentment there or something like that already, regardless of what they've done. And then
Yeah.
if they say screw you over, whatever, it seems more conspiratorial because they all happen to be Jewish in, say, Hollywood or music or whatever.
Yeah, he has to
Yeah,
specify who these individuals are, because the easy cop out is the same argument that other far right groups might use, which is
yeah,
Jews are the problem, etc., right? If he said it's this CEO with a name, he's been messing with me, he's been trying to ruin my career, he's been trying to hold me back, whatever reasons he's given, then I'd respect that. But because he's
yeah.
saying the whole basic Jewish argument, then I have an issue with it.
I think he
Right?
he's trying to spin it like the reason he said it the way he did is so they can discuss it, which you can say, okay, now people are discussing the truth behind it, but it's sort of inflammatory way to get people to
I
talk
mean,
about
is
the
it
truth.
really a new argument?
It's not. It's just the fact that
I've
he
heard
said
I've
it.
heard that same theory running around for like the last 15 years.
Yeah, but it's been going on since we were at school.
And in fact, it's been going on since Soviet
Before that.
Russia. It's been
Yeah,
going on since Nazi Germany.
yeah.
That whole Jews are, a certain way and whatever,
Do you
right?
know any Jewish people?
Do I know any Jews?
I know a few actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a few people. Yeah, they're just regular
In it,
people.
I guess in England, right, the Jewish person is just a Jewish person, right? But in somewhere like the US, it's not that. It's more that, oh, they might be a Weinstein or this Hollywood elite type thing. It's different, isn't it? It's not just a regular Jewish person.
Well, no, but what it is because we're hearing it from a celebrity, they're exposed to Jewish people in that industry.
Yeah.
There's Jewish people in law, in finance, in other industries in the US as well. But we don't hear about them because they don't happen to be CEOs of a record label or
Record,
CEOs of
yeah, yeah.
a production company or whatever it might be, right? So it happens to be that these individuals are usually more career work orientated, focused, and happen to have
Yeah, there could definitely be
generational wealth, which helps them.
some messed up circles, right? Who happen to be Jewish, just like there could be a messed up circle who happen to be black, white, Arab, whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. It could be a white Arab, etc. But it could also be a specific religion. It could be Christian, Muslim, etc. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, yeah. And also those people, right? This elite that Kanye West is kind of talking about, they use anything and anyone as their face or mask, they'll use any religion, they'll, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, if you believe
That's not their agenda. Their agenda is bigger than that,
Yeah, if you believe that there's this kind of underlying agenda.
Man, stop pretending like you don't you don't believe it. Yeah, if you believe that, I don't. I'm impartial.
What do you mean?
Huh?
No, but it's true that it's like if there's no facts behind it, I'll be honest with you. I've never seen the facts. So
all I know is that
I know all the theories. Right?
There's a corruption or there's an elite involved in the corruption. It's always the same people, be it Clintons, Bushes, whoever.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's just the same people. I think what it is there are corrupt individuals and they just happen to be within certain industries, and that's okay. Like corruption's everywhere. Corruption's even in the UK. It would just be more in your face when you go to a country like, I don't know, like Ukraine or wherever, right? These countries will be more in your face because everybody can access that corruption, right? So you can go and just bribe a police officer for a couple €100, right? And anybody can do that. In the UK, you can't bribe somebody for that amount. So it's not accessible to a regular person. So we don't think that there's a corruption in the UK, but there is, but it's just at a higher level.
Yeah.
So you have to be of a certain level. And corruption just operates everywhere.
So
in the US,
you're saying George Soros is an ordinary bloke, and he's not involved in anything bad, and we should just be like, all right,
he might, he's involved in things that I don't necessarily agree with. But I don't know if he's a bad individual because I don't know.
What about Klaus Schwab, whatever his name is?
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree with his view on resetting the economy, resetting our lives, not giving us an opportunity to buy property, because with the whole great reset, I don't agree with his transhumanism ideas. But do I know whether he's a bad person or not? No, because to be a good person doesn't necessarily mean that you should have the same ideas as me or the same outlook on life.
I guess not that he's a bad person, but it's the fact that his connections
are they corrupt?
Yeah, these people are all connected in a similar circle. That's where it seems iffy. But
all I care about is, do they have good intention or not?
I think people like Samuel Leeds have better intentions. Did you see his video on joining the World Economic Forum?
He joined?
He tried. He wasn't rich enough.
Okay.
He tried, but apparently the minimum entry is like, I don't know, 100 million. You have to have 100 million plus a year that you're earning.
So how do politicians get into that?
Good question. Oh, fuck knows how they're involved. I think some guy broke it down though, that the World Economic Forum was set up years before it was this thing, and it was literally just a way for multi-billionaires to meet and talk, right? Years before it was all the Great Reset and all that crap. So apparently it used to be more of an open forum for just discussion, but what happens is these people have a particular agenda, will then use it as a means to push a climate change agenda, transhumanism, nanotechnology, whatever the fuck it is.
It's just how I see it. It's probably
so that's
just
why the politicians are involved. So there's even people who I think Tulsi Gabbard, there's even people in the US who like seem like decent people, and they happen to have been part of that World Economic Forum because they were there before it became all crazy and stuff. So I think they get handpicked or hand selected, but if you're a random person, you have to have a certain bracket of money that you earn in order to join. So Samuel Leeds applied, and he's not wealthy enough, apparently.
Makes sense. I think they want people with a certain amount of influence.
He was like, the one time I've ever felt broke was trying to apply for the World Economic Forum. He's like, now I feel like a brokey.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where I think they need people with a certain level of influence, either financially within a certain industry or
why is that? Huh? Interesting.
Politics.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder what Kanye West makes of it.
I don't know. I'll let them figure it out. I'm too busy doing my own thing.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
I said I was editing earlier. I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I was working on the website that I'm building. So just trying to figure out the design, the functionality of the membership section of my website.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't editing. I was constructing my desk because I was trying to get a new tray, and I thought, oh, let me fix this together, but the clamps were too wide. So what I did instead was I put this tray on top of the other tray that's already there, and that's my new tray. It's basically so it can extend out further, and it can because it was too low, and my chair can only go so low. So I spent all this money on a desk keyboard tray, and it didn't fit, so I just put the tray on top of the other one. That's my keyboard tray. Yeah, it was productive.
Cool.
That, and I was listening to some old bangers.
Yeah, like Tinchy Strider and all those guys.
Yeah, I was watching some of N-Dubs live. I don't know if you noticed, they've come back now.
Who?
N-Dubs.
No, I didn't know that they were back. Like I said, I don't really
Are you out of the
don't
game,
really
man?
keep up to date with this stuff.
They're back, yeah. They came back with a song like ages ago, 6 months ago, 4 months ago now. I don't know, called Charmer,
Nice,
which is
nice.
pretty good. And then they've gone on tour doing all their old classics. Yeah. I won't do them.
I don't really listen to that much music, so I don't really and the music I listen to now is definitely different from what I used to.
I know you're like obviously an Ariana Grande fan. You go to her concerts and stuff, so you know.
Of course, of course,
N-Dubs
of
isn't
course.
for you, but
But I don't
Ariana
think as much
Grande,
as
yeah.
you. I don't
Huh?
think as much as you.
I haven't been to a concert. I've got her albums. I haven't been to a concert.
Well, I had to go to a concert out of force,
Oh,
not
had to,
force,
yeah.
but like,
Yeah, right, man.
yeah, because I was trying to go. I was going with somebody else, so
You booked
nothing
it.
to do with Ariana Grande.
You booked the VIP booth, the meet and greet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get a photo with her. Do you remember where I took a photo with a cardboard cutout like years ago?
I remember when you did the meet and greet with Rihanna. You even traveled to Northern Ireland.
I traveled to like a
a
different
meet and greet with.
Is that a different
Rihanna.
country? It's not really, but I traveled overseas to meet.
I wish
Rihanna.
we had an editor, because what I'd want them to do now is put a photo of you with Rihanna, and like
Rihanna, yeah.
You
know what's so funny is people in like interviews, like random celebrities go, "Oh my god, I met Rihanna," blah blah, and I'm like, "So." Been there, done that. Where you met her?
But you know, some people are genuine fans, and they like really feel a certain way towards somebody.
Yeah, like when
they really admire them, or they see them as a role model. You know, I don't think. Well, I definitely don't have that much.
When I was
There's nobody
at
there that
meet and greet, there were these little girls around me. I'm probably the oldest man there, but anyway, these young girls around me, and they're crying like crazy. Oh my god, ah! And I'm like, hey, just relax, you know, it'll be good.
All right, talking about role models and people being obsessed with certain people, right? Who do you think your role models are in your life?
Oh, can I open up this? Like role models. I think when
and you can say famous people, because it'll be easier for the listeners to know who these people are, and then they can really picture them.
I think
you don't have to say who particularly
famous role models.
Yeah, because it could be family members as well, but
nah, not much. I mean, my older brother was when I was quite young, because my dad wasn't around, so I kind of, well, not a role model. I was always a bit like, ugh, Greg, but like, you accidentally model yourself on whoever's around you, be it family, whoever, even my mum to a degree, and that just happened subconsciously, I think. But my actual like role model as a kid was probably like DMX. That was who I looked up to as like, oh, just give me some guidance. And then
why do you think that is? Why DMX?
Why DMX? That's a good question. I think because we were in some rough, shitty areas and schools and people. And I remember in primary school, like Rough Riders and DMX was sort of my outlet for all this rough neighborhood type thing that I was in. So it's like, you know, like when I got bullied or something, it would be like, you can't go home and listen to Mariah Carey, you know, or Destiny's Child. So I'd go home and I'd put on like this Rough Riders album that my brother had, or DMX, and then I'd be like, yeah, and I would channel it. And then I would bring my mates around from primary school. We'd all, I don't know what the fuck we do. We put on the webcam, right? We just record as we like say the lyrics to like the DMX shit. And I don't even know. I was a kid back then, so I don't even know if I was dropping these 10 minutes. If I was dropping these N words all the time, because that's most of DMX's lyric. But we were kids, so we would just imitate it.
And they obviously didn't care, right? Because they're like, oh, that's just you know, Henry.
They didn't. I don't even remember them saying anything. Like all my friends in primary school were like black, apart from one. I only had one friend who wasn't black, and
yeah.
Oh, and one like Pakistani guy, but like, yeah. So yeah, I can't remember. I remember what happened is you'd hear, being one of the only white people in the school, sometimes I would do something and they would say, oh, you can't do that, man, or you can't say that because you're white or whatever. And I was like, what? like I think I called some guy a monkey because he was acting like a monkey, right? And then the dude was like, oh, you can't say that. What do you mean? He's acting like a monkey. He's like, oh, it's racist. So that's when I slowly discover the kind of bullshit that people think. But I'm pretty sure it's not them who think that, it's their parents. I remember someone said my mum was racist because she was South African. I was like, you're not, how are you racist because you're South African?
Yeah,
but,
if you're born in a certain country, how does that make you racist?
Yeah, it's just because they're probably their mum or dad told them that. And these are kids, man. We're like 8, 10, 9, maybe, you know.
Yeah, so, of course, yeah. So DMX, your role model. Anybody else?
Obviously Dan Bacon.
Dan Bacon. Shout out to Dan Bacon.
All right, I've got 8 minutes left. How do we quickly summarize Dan Bacon in a few seconds? So Dan is like the OG original, like, he's not even a pickup guy, right? Because this is an era where the only thing
dating and like dating
coach, advisor. Yeah. This isn't an era where the only stuff you see on TV was like some weird guy called Mystique, or I can't remember these weird people like, I'm a pickup artist, and they wear like feathers and hats and weird shit, and they take the piss out of women and go,
because they're trying to peacock themselves, right? They're trying to stand out.
Yeah, all this weird stuff on TV.
All this weird subliminal stuff they try to
do. Like hypnotizing women to sleep with them. Like, what the hell? Just fucking be normal. But anyway, so Dan came around this period, this early internet, and me and Hisney discovered this ebook, and it was like what was called the flow, and it was it had four steps of what to do in order to, get some.
Well, actually, I can sum up the book, and I think the best part of the book was
step 4.
So you have to have confidence, number one. You have to be more dominant and masculine. So you have to be more extrovert. So coming to, I wouldn't say we were introverts, but we were kind of shy because we weren't comfortable talking to.
I think we had some insecurities.
Yeah, we had insecurities. Yeah,
and based on the fact that we hadn't had much luck in any of our ventures.
And bear in mind, we were just teenagers. We
kids,
were just
kids.
17, 18, 19, just
it'd be like we look around at like these people going to South Bank, and we were like, oh man, they're all getting laid. So my horny teenage mind, I'm like, I need to up my game. And you look around at like these, say, alpha males of our class, you're like, oh man, he's getting it as well. So then you more and more you feel like you gotta up your game. And obviously I went out of your sixth form, you guys stayed there. I went to college, and I didn't know about this whole flow MM thing, but I just tried shit out and it just backfired in it. So I think a point came weirdly after my mum passed away, where I was like invested in getting out my comfort zone as much as possible. And that's where I read this book, and then I brought you in on it. And then I think we just read it and started applying bits. And then before you know it, we'd go out the bars, we try shit out, we try different methods, see what works, what doesn't work. You were always great at the step 4, which is get the number, whatever, right? And I was. Do you remember
the steps? Let's sum up the steps.
Step 1 is approach. That was me. I was like, I could approach anyone. 2 was attraction, was it? Yeah, attraction. Like, so teasing, flirting.
Yeah, flirting, teasing, creating some sort of chemistry.
Third one was emotions. So it's like developing emotional connection or something, I think. I might be mixing
emotional,
up
sexual kind of, yeah.
Yeah, one's like sexual, one's like emotion, and 4 is like, get the number, like, hey, so let's catch up, whatever. And you were always great at the 4. I was really good at the 1. And I think, we fucking applied that method for years. And I think once we started to get like a bit of real success with it, we got a bit lazy, and we got a bit caught up in the emotions, or I don't know what we got caught up in, but we got caught up. And I think we then brought it back way after, but it didn't work as well. Like, we were slowly moving in different parts of our life. And I was doing it more because I just like to get results. It wasn't like I even wanted these women. I'd be like, I go to your uni, approach this random girl to the side of her, get a number and stuff, and then we'd be arguing over who gets her. Meanwhile, now she's like Shout out Shivani. Now she's got like kids,
Why are
and
you name dropping?
might as well, innit? Shout out
Dude, you
Shivani.
need to chill.
I don't even talk to her anymore, dude. I just like her. It's like she's our best friend or anything. But if she
I
watches
think I
this, she
might
could
have
be
her
like,
on
"Oh my god,
Instagram or
it's
something. I
me."
don't know. But
Okay, you're a bit embarrassed, eh? A bit shy, yeah.
yeah,
You're
no,
still
I'm not.
you're still trying to get in there with her.
Okay, cool. Dan Bacon, DMX, and anybody else, or is that it?
Um, Dan Bacon and DMX. I don't know, man. We've got like 3 minutes 40 seconds. What about your ones?
My one. I'd probably say Dan. So the Dan Bacon thing was like a big one for me because reading the stuff that he was saying, it really helped me build up confidence. Just in myself, and just realizing that it's so important to be confident in yourself, be comfortable with yourself, be fearless.
The
And if you have
original
insecurities and issues, you
before
kind of just
Dan
work on it.
was actually Roman. Shout out to Roman. Like before Dan, like the person we kind of looked up to for like, I guess, confidence or social was actually Roman, because Roman had these random Greek girls and whatever. He was quite out there. He's quite an out there guy back in the day.
Yeah, to an extent. But I think like if you're looking about role models for me,
yeah,
I kind of saw he kind of reading the flow helped me realize that you can just, if you have a problem, if you have something that you aren't good at, you can go and find solutions to it, and you can easily get those solutions if you apply yourself. And you just need to get the information from the right people. So we happen to be lucky because we got it from Dan, because I think his information was a lot more genuine. It came from the right place, because there's a lot of these pickup guys who are into, using
hypnotizing
or trying to be a certain way, acting arrogant, acting this, doing that, right? Like using tricks rather than using a conventional method.
Yeah, we even read this book. I think it was called like Sex God Master or something. I can't remember, right?
Yeah, but you ended up, I think you bought that book.
Did I?
You ended up buying that book. Yeah, I remember we were living together. You bought that book.
Anyway, it's just so dumb, man. Like that's why I kind of like Dan and those guys, because they're from the Modern Man, by the way. I think the modernman.com, I can't remember, but they were more like, it wasn't about trickery or just generic bullshit. It was all about what they found works, or
I think the main thing that I took from that was he had this, because my issue was, how do I keep the conversation going and guide the conversation into a certain direction with a girl? And he had like a whole process where he goes, make a statement about something and then ask a question, right? So, and then you start leading the conversation like that, because you start giving your own opinions and you start building that bond. And then throughout the whole conversation, you just have to be free flowing. That's the whole point of the flow, is like, it just has to be natural. I think that's why.
Yeah, I think when you first try it out, you're very rigid with it, because you're like step 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, because you don't know. You're like,
and then later,
you're 18 years old.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were like 18 years old. We didn't know what we were doing. So we're like, okay, let's do number 1. Let's do number 2. Let's do number 3, and then number 4. It's like you become rigid, but then you realize that it's just everything that he tells you, you can kind of mix and match it and do whatever you want to do with it. And you can, it's just useful information about building confidence mainly. That was it. I think the main thing was building confidence and feeling comfortable in those environments.
It's gonna cut out now, so I guess leave it there till next time.
All right, we'll talk more about Dan, I guess, next time.
Yeah, good intentions.
And my other role models.
Episode 2. Yeah, let's talk about Dan next time. Shout out Dan. Shout out Shivani. I don't care what his knee says.